Well, good morning, Judy Lee, and welcome to.
It's 12 p.m. It's afternoon now. But it's still morning for
Are
me
you going to start this right away? As soon as we
I
start?
slept in
You slept in
hard.
today, right?
I did. I needed the sleep. I've been working like a dog.
That's not how I see it. Okay, like I don't see you working like. Actually, you know what? I don't know where I would be without you.
Likewise.
Right?
You give me a sense of purpose. Glenn.
Right? I give meaning to your life, right?
Anyways, this is the Global Diamond Broker Podcast. I'm your host, Judy Lee.
How did you become the host?
You're my co-host. You're my
am
co-star.
I the second in command, right? Okay, I'll go with that. I just don't want any more trouble.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are we talking about this week? I know it's actually a favorite subject of mine and one of my favorite subjects to talk about with my clients.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say yourself.
Do we need to start over?
No,
here?
I like this. I like
Right?
this.
We're already way behind because of your, my alarm didn't go. And if you had homework to do, would the dog have eaten the homework or?
Oh, yeah. I've used that excuse like 3 occasions.
That's funny. So what we're going to talk about is a couple of things today that I think our listeners will find very interesting. Mm-hmm. And it's, I am the global diamond broker. And when I say that, I've been to countries like, and we do business with countries like Singapore. And I've been all over countries like China. And I've spent incredible amounts of time there and sold. We still sell diamonds into China, where, by the way, they send us the money and then we send them the diamonds.
Can you guys imagine? Like, they haven't even seen the stone yet and they send us the money.
The amount of credibility we have.
Yeah.
Right? Although our competitors would love to change that and do just about every... And we don't really have competitors, I don't really... It's kind of like talking about moissanite and diamonds in the same sentence. Us and jewelers really have nothing in common. And, like the industry changes right now, going from if someone 3 years ago said I would be recommending a diamond made in a lab over a diamond that's mined, I would have said there's no way in the world, even 2 years ago, maybe even a year ago.
Yeah. But the industry is changing.
The industry's changing. And, those jewelers, they're going to have to change too. Mm-hmm. We're in the information age. We're still in that, aren't we? I was born in the industrial age before you start making the jokes about it. Okay? But the world's changed. And, pre-COVID and post-COVID are two completely different worlds. And I'll tell you the other thing that's changed a lot in the diamond industry is the technology. And so, we've been, on TikTok, for example, and whoever would have thought that we would become, I would become TikTok famous. And we had another TikTok yesterday go to 28,000. Now, for some people who get millions of views,
that might not be a lot, but to us...
But, it's overwhelming because of the amount of business we get. And, I wonder if TikTok manages those things that way. Obviously, we're very, very different. We're not a retail jeweler. We don't put our sparkling diamonds out there, although one of the things about our brand is we have this fundamental belief that the only return is beauty, and those are the diamonds we broker, and I think the industry's going that way. Now,
we
people
definitely
are
found a
starting to
niche
listen.
for sure.
I've been the most interesting thing to me about TikTok is the amount of jewelers that have reached out to me where I've had to confirm and help them understand. And some of these guys have owned their own jewelry stores for years. Things that they never understood, like why I absolutely hate G color in a diamond. Why the 4 C's are for the industry
and not for
you. It's so interesting. And, I had a guy yesterday, and so let's talk about this because let me come back to the guy out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida yesterday who's trying to buy a diamond and make the right decision. And I guess that's what we're talking about here today is trying to buy a diamond and make the right decision. So we'll talk about things today like certification, which one to use. We'll talk about things today like mine versus lab quickly. And you already know my view on that. I mean, I have the inside track. I know what's going on in the industry. I'm a student of the business. I've been doing this for 40 years. And, some days, these days, I feel like I'm just getting started. Everything's so new. But I love the new technologies. I love the information that our clients can get now.
Absolutely.
So, am I talking too much again?
When are you not talking too much?
Well, this is an exciting subject and an exciting time. So,
For sure.
so let's talk about pre-COVID and
Okay.
being in China, and we're there to sell. Like, I don't think, if you can sell to the Chinese marketplace as a very handsome, tall white man, is that funny?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be. One of the things that we deal with, and when we talk about the lab-grown versus mine diamonds, is the show blood diamonds, because
The movie Blood Diamonds?
Blood Diamonds.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And who was mistaken for Leonardo DiCaprio when he was in Dalian in northern China?
That would be the one and only Colin Firth.
Leonardo DiCaprio? Really? Like, I had a golf shirt on.
Maybe 20 years ago.
Right, with the collar turned up, and I could see over now in Dalian in northern China, which is where I spent a lot of time. There are no English-speaking people. So when I stayed in a hotel, for example, I'd want to order room service.
I'd have to point to the menu.
But I'd have to get out of bed or get out of my room, go down to the front desk.
Oh my gosh! Okay, I guess you couldn't call them and just be like, "Hey,
no
can I get the number one?"
comprehension whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was fun. But I'm in this restaurant having blowfish with this billionaire Asian client of ours.
Was it good?
Well, it really wasn't that good, but blowfish is the...
It's a delicacy there, right?
Well, but it can kill you, and so there's very few chefs in the world
that
who
can prepare
can cook it. Or you don't cook it, I guess. It's
prepare it.
sushi.
Yeah.
Who prepare it.
Amazing.
So I feel like I'm hopping around a lot, but this is what the business was like. I showed up in person. I can remember times, for example, being in my office here in Vancouver on a Friday morning and getting a call from Hong Kong, where if I could deliver the diamond, it was a big diamond. It was worth $500,000 US.
How many carats was it?
You know what? It was a 6-carat stone.
Nice.
Very rare.
Nice.
Okay. And if I could deliver it by Monday morning. And so what I did was I booked a flight, and I got on the flight, and I was in Hong Kong at the bank, Beijing from here.
Wow.
Or was it China? No, it was Hong Kong, direct from YVR here in Vancouver. And I was in Hong Kong the next day and got a hotel room, got checked in, carried the diamond with me, and made the sale.
That is crazy.
That is pre-COVID.
That's pre-COVID.
That's something you cannot do today.
Right.
So if that situation came up today and we had to deliver, and we deliver big diamonds and little diamonds all over the world. We just brought in an incredible...
Massive.
Well, not for everybody, but I guess that's the biggest diamond you've seen, I guess, is 7-carat.
In real life, yeah.
Right?
I mean, an engagement ring diamond,
Yeah. And it's interesting because nowadays, if I got that order... I would literally be shipping it.
Right.
Right? And so the shipping has become so sophisticated where pre-COVID, if I had to ship a diamond of that value...
You'd be taking it yourself.
I'd be taking it myself. Yeah. But nowadays we can insure, and what makes it so interesting is where I would have to order companies like Malka Met, who is my favorite high security company in the world. I mean, I've worked with these guys a lot pre-COVID, where, for example, when I went to Singapore and I had millions of dollars worth of diamonds in my pocket, I literally had them follow me around. Our security now is not as sophisticated because we do everything out of the bank and the bank deposit box, right? Which is high security. We do our shipping and our receiving and probably the highest security, right? And it's interesting because we can do this kind of stuff today, insure it, put it into a FedEx box, if you can imagine.
Right.
And so when people say to me, really lab-grown diamonds over mine, and I think yes, personally, my opinion has evolved. And if it was me or my child getting engaged today, or you, Judy,
Which is highly unlikely at
it's
this
so
point.
unlikely, right?
You're not supposed to agree.
Well, I don't know. I think we may need to hire a therapist and find out. Right? It's not like there's not lots of suitors.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying it's me?
Yeah. Again, well, you're the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. And how's that coffee, by the way?
So good. It's
Yeah.
a peppermint mocha from Starbucks. Delicious.
But yeah, today I put that diamond on a plane. But here's the thing: completely insured, every step along
That's right.
the way.
Yeah.
So and FedEx knows what they're doing. It's quite amazing. So that's one of the things pre-COVID that has changed is the shipping of diamonds and all around the world. We had this stone the other day that came from India to New York. They were shipping it through another shipper that was going to take longer. It was Brinks. I'm not a fan.
Not a fan.
Yeah, we're not fans of Brinks, right? I think they're kind of like Air Canada. They have a bit of a monopoly, and so they're not very nice.
That reminds me of the time that we kind of scurried around Vancouver, following around the Briggs truck,
Doing the Diamond
doing
News
the
Direct.
Diamond News Direct.
Yeah,
We gotta get back on that. We're like
we're lucky
news
we didn't
reporters.
get shot.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Brinks guys didn't think we were robbing them. We went over to the Brinks office here. That's interesting. But we want to see what's going on. We have our finger on the pulse of every aspect of the
That
business.
is true.
And so, but it was interesting because we couldn't get it here. Brinks was going to deliver on Thursday. And they had the diamond in New York at Brinks on Friday night. Our partners in New York went to the Brinks location, took the diamond out of Brinks, right?
Yeah, they did.
Returned it around, took it to FedEx, and the very next day,
And we had it in our hands.
we had the diamond in our hands on a Saturday, delivered to a branch of the bank that was open Saturdays. Like, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So this is a big deal. Now, the other reason I talk about this sort of thing with our clients is, we just did a TikTok on the shortest distance between you, the client, and the supply of a diamond.
The mine or the lab.
The mine or the lab, and that's us. We don't have middlemen. We're talking to the people on the ground, and so we don't. If you do listen or on our Instagram or TikToks, me rant on about the fact that the 4 C's aren't good enough, and De Beers, the legendary, iconic leader, whether you're in the lab or mine section, by far the leader and biggest supplier in the world. They sort to 14,000 different grades, and so we never trust until we see the diamond ourselves. We know the cutters, we know the mines we deal with, we know the labs we deal with. They know how high our expectations are
right.
on every diamond. But remember, these are rocks, and so the process we use is the diamond leaves the lab, it comes directly to us. 9 out of 10 diamonds today come from India.
So
And-
we receive the diamond, we sit there, we inspect the stone, we make sure it's up
In
to
the
our
bank
standards.
vaults,
Yeah.
right? So it's all safe and secure.
Yeah.
And then we give our approval to the diamonds, right? We have to see them visually. This is what we do for our clients. We call it going the extra mile, and we really do. I mean,
And we have no problem sending back a stone that doesn't meet our
our
requirements.
expectations, and the cutters and the mines and everybody learn very quickly when we don't keep them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the commitment we make to our clients, and these are things we can do post-COVID. Because I can tell you before, to buy diamonds for 15 years, to be at the source for diamonds was not like it is today. It's amazing the technology that allows us to acquire these, and there's technology the industry doesn't want you to know about, where you can guarantee the color and the clarity every single time. Human eyes still have to see it for the things that aren't pretty little C words. But this hoax that the industry has perpetuated on clients, that the 4 C's is the be all end all when they can say anything they want,
Right.
is disturbing.
Well, let's talk about the fact that you can have 2 identical certificates
In every single
in
way.
every single aspect, and have
GIA,
Yeah.
I said I'd talk about this, the best certificate in the world. They don't always get it right. I've argued
he's
with
argued
them
with them in one.
on a number of occasions. I know.
Yeah.
I don't work for the GIA. I know what the quality of the stone is and what the I know my cut, color, clarity, and carat and everything else, but
So you can have 2 identical certificates and have one stone be a complete dud, and the other one be a beauty of a diamond,
I call it a dazzler.
a dazzler.
A dazzler. And that's coming from GIA Judy here, who's certified in diamonds from the Gemological Institute of America, which is a big deal.
Right.
And so
of the certificates, you can have a GIA certificate, you can have an IGI certificate. If you were someone purchasing a stone, which of the 2 certificates would you
it's a really good question. We started off doing IGI because the GIA
said
they would never ever certify a diamond that came out of a laboratory. And
They do.
they do. They snuck it in before Christmas last year that they were now going to start. So this is hell freezing over in the diamond industry. And, for all those people who are out there and talk about, that they're not real or they're the biggest indication to me, because the GIA is heavily influenced by De Beers, who is heavily influenced by one thing, the bottom line in dollars, who are building an $80 million manufacturing right now
For
lab-grown diamonds in the great state of Oregon. Go Ducks. Is, I'm cute, right? I'm kind of adorable,
Sure.
really. Go Ducks. Is the GIA certifying these diamonds is as big as you get. And by the way, they're certified, although they don't want to give the big doctored up certificates, but it's the exact same criteria
Right.
that they use on mine diamonds.
Right.
So it's interesting. It's very interesting. Anyway, so that's pre-COVID, post-COVID. I mean, what are some of the other things, Judy, you want to know about?
Did you answer my question?
What was your question?
As far as GIA or IGI?
It's GIA
It's
all the
GIA.
way.
Okay. And
It's GIA all the way. Should
You're
we
so
just-
good at this.
Hey?
You're so good at this.
Right?
Where
I'm
does
a
it come
natural.
from?
When we do our TikToks, this is something else people need to understand. We just turn a phone. Could you imagine? We just turn a phone on me and I start talking.
We have 0 scripts.
Yeah, we don't script anything. We don't script it's interesting how much I know.
Yeah.
I was going to say that how much you're learning, but we hope you're learning too. Because this is backstage. This is a lot of the stuff that you need to know. Look, whether you're spending $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million, we got them all. These are the things you need to know and understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's like this whole thing I've rambled on about is it's about beauty. At the end of the day, white diamonds are no financial investment where they come out of a lab. This is something the industry's tried to persuade people is the truth. It's another lie the industry tells, right? And I call it a lie because it's a lie, right? There's no financial return on white diamonds. And we found out ourselves the hard way about fancy colored diamonds and what the industry was saying about that and the snake oil that was being sold. There are categories of natural fancy colored diamonds that are good investments without
absolutely.
question.
Yeah.
Most of them say Argyle, but at the end of the day, they're not. You shouldn't be buying diamonds in almost every category thinking it's going to be a good financial investment. As an emotional investment, their hardness, the beautiful ones, you can't do better. As a reflection of love, you can't do better. But
I know this is a little bit off topic, but I'm curious as to like your thoughts on those who say because diamonds are not financial investments, why not buy a moissanite? Why not buy,
well, there's a couple of reasons. It's interesting you bring up moissanite because moissanite is a soft gem compared to diamonds, and that's really the number one thing. Diamonds don't scratch, they don't.
Right.
But moissanite is a very cheap cut stone, right? It's more like a topaz or something. So when people put those, it's not a diamond substitute in any way, shape, or form. There really are none. I mean, the Mohs hardness scale. This is the hardest naturally, and now in a mine, occurring substance on Earth, right? And so that's number one. But number two, and this is the big one for me, and I think about they stopped using their ad, diamonds are forever a few years ago, but these things really are. They don't scratch, they don't chip. And as the ultimate symbol of love, really, diamonds, because of their hardness and their history, and because of the fact that, most women, by far, when I say most, 90%, 95%, maybe higher, consider it the ultimate symbol of love. And, the engagement ring, which is really the diamond industry. I don't want people, if you took gold chains and everything is engagement rings. It's hard, it wears well. And if you're lucky enough to work with us, your diamond will always be the most beautiful. And I don't say that facetiously. I say people are better off to go to a Harry Winston where they know the diamond is going to be exceptional and pay the high retail prices than end up with a diamond that's a dog. A dog for the second time.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, a dud. That's what we called it in our TikTok.
That's right.
There's dazzlers and there's duds when it comes to this. So, that's kind of, the paradigm of before and after. So today, we don't, like I did for 15 years, I don't get on a plane anymore. I don't have to. And go sit in the Bourse in Antwerp, where very few people have, or go sit at the mine in Perth and pick out every single diamond by hand.
So that sounds like such a cool experience.
It really was, but it also increased price, right? That we don't have to do anymore.
That's true.
That means
on
more
money in your pockets then, I suppose.
Like absolutely. Yeah. And that's what you have to look at. Is it's interesting because that's how much the industry's changed. And the less people you have in between you and where your diamond comes from,
the better off you'll be.
The less you're paying for, jewelry. Here's one of the things people miss too is when you go into a jewelry store and buy a ring, you take a look around. The overheads are incredible. Look at the rents where they are that they're paying.
You're essentially paying for every other diamond in that room.
Every other piece of jewelry. That's right, Judy. Every other piece
Insurance,
of jewelry.
The lighting.
Right? In there, that store, that chain, that has invested in. And so every time they make a sale, you're paying for someone else's ring. And
that's right.
You're paying for their rent and you're paying for their advertising. And, we don't have those overheads. We don't advertise. We don't have a budget for it. Of course, we don't really like people that much either, which makes it kind of, it's just you and me.
You don't like people.
You must love the quality time you get. Do you know how many women would be jealous of you to hang out with me all day?
Do you guys hear this?
And play with diamonds?
Oh my God. I mean,
and learn from one of the leading experts in the world.
I've learned so much. It's been so much fun. So, yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of what's going on today in the business, an overview. It's post-COVID. Don't expect me to get on planes anytime soon, right?
Well, if you need someone to go for you, I'd be happy to.
But it's not like
not necessary
that anymore.
though.
It's just not there anymore. Those opportunities, like we will go to India to meet our suppliers face to face at some point, but maybe not. I mean, right now you look at places like China. Do you know I met with some of my Chinese clients here a few days ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Do you know you have to go into isolation in China for a week?
You're joking.
Everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody going into China, they put you in a hotel room where you have to stay for a week before you even get out to see if you test negative the
It's
whole
crazy.
time for COVID.
Yeah.
Like that's what's going on at that level. So I know all these things because I have these clients all over the world. We're international every day.
That's right.
We're the global diamond brokers. We take it seriously, right? We take your ownership of a diamond extremely seriously. We know what we're doing. We're the experts. And if you ever take exception to anything I say, please text me, email me, 604-999-8111. Go to our Instagram at the Global Diamond Broker and message me.
Yep.
Because I'm very adamant. I know a lot about the industry. They're not happy with me right now to a large degree, and I don't blame them because we're bringing a message forward to the end consumer, to the retail client. I hate to even say that. That's changing the way people own diamonds, and that's what we're here for. We're here to inform.
So leave a comment down below if you have any questions or text call in. And yeah, thanks for listening.
We need a good ending. We
That was a
something
great ending.
No, we need like a good ending that really drives home who we are.
Okay, go for
You
it.
got anything? Like, should we do a cheer together? Hey? I think I'm funny. You seem shy today. Why do you seem shy? Is it because you slept in and didn't get to put makeup on?
I don't know.
Right? It's not like you to be shy.
Okay, whatever. Get over it.
Anyway, see you next week.
See you
Hope
next
you found this
week.
informative. It's meant to be. Got questions? We got answers. Let us help. It's free to get a quote, by the way. Free. You got something from some other jeweler? Please send it to us. We're happy to help.